Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
The wintry weather is delivering quite a first punch in the Northern Valley. This is video from this afternoon in Grand Forks, where it looks like the flakes continue to fly. But first, breaking news tonight, a North Dakota family and community are dealing with the loss of a staple in the area. A historic dance barn in Arthur goes up in flames. Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson was one of the first news crews on the scene of that fire just north of Arthur. She joins us live with the latest. Nicole?
Christine, if you've been outside at all today, you can tell just how brutal this wind is. And that's what the crews here are experiencing. You can't really see it, but the flame is still burning underneath all this smoke. And they say that they're having a difficult time controlling it. Now, if they get to the trees back there, that's going to be trouble. Now, they're trying to protect it. There is a house behind these trees, and they're trying to make sure it doesn't spread to that area. As far as the barn goes, it's a total loss. And it's a place where there's normally dancing and singing and happy people. For 65 plus years, it's been a staple in this community, and it could be the end of a legacy.
What I can tell you is obviously what an absolutely tragic situation today that's taken place in the community of Arthur. Obviously, as you can tell, Arthur's barn is a total loss at this point.
Just to give you an idea of how tragic this is, the fire crews told me on the way here, one of them was in tears because she had a wedding set to be here coming up in a few months, and she's going to have to find a new place to get married. Christine?
All right, thank you for that live report, Nicole. The snow has made its way to the Northern Valley, but has stayed away for the most part here in Fargo. However, those winds have not given us a break. Wind speeds in the valley have topped over 50 miles per hour. Now let's get a live report of what's happening out there as Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin is in Grand Forks with the latest conditions. Ryan, how are you holding up out there?
Christine, what a difference a day makes. It is cold up here in Grand Forks. I'm along Highway 2 here looking eastbound, and I want you guys to, if you can, check out that flag there. It is blowing. It's been blowing all afternoon. I talked to some truck drivers here that have been traveling Highway 2. They said the strong winds have been moving them around pretty good, but it hasn't prevented them from getting from point A to point B. Really high wind gusts up in the Northern Valley. Flakes are still flying, and that's expected to continue. I think Robert's got the full look just coming up, but really windy, and we're going to be keeping an eye on conditions throughout the night. From Grand Forks, I'm Ryan Laughlin for Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Ryan. And like we said here in Fargo, those winds are not letting up. We're going to take a live look at our sky cam outside of our station in South Fargo. It appears we don't have that, but we're going to go ahead and send it over to Robert Hahn for what we can expect for tonight. Robert?
Yeah, we're going to continue with some snow falling in parts of the region. A lot of wind will continue through much of the overnight hours and some very cold temperatures. Right now, those temperatures all within a few degrees of freezing. 28 in Langdon. 30 in Devils Lake, Thief River Falls, and Roseau, also 30 in Fergus Falls. We're just above freezing in Fargo and Grand Forks at 33 degrees. Winds continue strong, very strong, out of the north and northwest, at times still gusting over 50 miles per hour. Grand Forks reporting a peak wind gust today of 64 miles per hour. The peak wind gust here in Fargo, 59 miles per hour, 53 mile per hour gusts in Sisseton, Valley City, and in Cando. The combination of the wind and temperatures giving us wind chills in the teens and the 20s. 19 right now in Fargo, 12 for your wind chill in Langdon. A lot of cloud cover, and underneath those clouds we continue to see that snow. The best chance for some more accumulations will be in northern portions of Minnesota, but another band developing in eastern North Dakota. That may continue our snow shower chance here in Fargo throughout the evening. Pembina has seen some snow, mainly collecting on the grassy areas and over in portions of Minnesota near the Mahnomen area there too. But as we go through the overnight hours, anywhere where you see the water, the slush, a lot of that's going to freeze, and you could see some slick conditions over parts of the area. How long does the snow stick around? We'll let you know that in just a few minutes, as well as a look at your weekend forecast.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. Several people are being sought in Minnesota after using an ATM skimming device to steal thousands of dollars from bank users. The device being used can be almost impossible to spot, and it's impacting hundreds of Minnesotans. So what do you need to know to keep your account safe? Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has our story about keeping your money and identity protected at the ATM.
They can be purchased online and may not even be noticeable. An ATM skimming device. These hidden electronics are used to steal your personal information.
Criminals are becoming more savvy with the devices that are out there. So, people that are using ATMs need to be kind of on the alert of what they're looking, or what they should be looking for.
In recent years, more than $1 million has been stolen in ATM-related crimes. The individuals in these photos are being tracked for using the skimming device. While at the ATM, users are urged to be on alert.
Look for anything that looks bulky, that it's kind of out of place. Give the card slot a tug and see if it detaches.
It is also suggested to use your hand as a shield when putting in your PIN number. One local bank has turned to an innovative solution to prevent users from falling victim to these devices.
On the Gate City Bank ATMs, we have a reader that takes your card the long way, reads your chip in the card in a secure manner, and then presents your card back to you. So that way there is virtually no chance of having an external skimmer that would take away your information.
Users are being reminded to check their ATMs before using it, and if you see any signs it has been tampered with, do not put your card inside. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Lieutenant Anderson says when something doesn't look right at an ATM, go to another one. Also look for ATMs that have a camera pointed on them. Meanwhile, residents may also want to be aware of scammers posing as Sanford Medical Center. Fargo resident Judith Bristol called our whistleblower hotline. She received phone calls offering a number of cost-saving services. So she wants to get the word out so that others don't fall victim to these kinds of scams.
It came in on my caller ID, Sanford Medical Center. So I picked it up, and that call was trying to sell me or tell me that I was going to get a lower interest rate on my credit card. Well, that wasn't the Sanford call at all.
Sanford confirmed with Valley News Live that it is not offering those services. Please advise if you receive a similar phone call or you think that you're being scammed in any way to contact them immediately. At the White House today, President Trump delivered a speech about the deadliest drug crisis in U.S. history and what his administration is doing to stop it. And a prominent North Dakotan was also in attendance for today's speech. While in D.C., First Lady Catherine Helgas-Burgum met with Richard Baum, the acting director of the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy. Helgas-Burgum says Baum is an important federal partner for the state in treating the causes of addiction. For more about what the president's speech means for the country, here's Mola Lenghi reporting from Washington.
President Trump said what communities all across the nation already know, that the opioid crisis is a public health emergency.
We can be the generation that ends the opioid epidemic.
The declaration does not release any new money to address the drug epidemic, which has been fueled by highly addictive painkillers flooding the market. But it does shift some federal money to help addicts. And the president is cracking down on at least one of the most problematic drugs.
We are requiring that a specific opioid, which is truly evil, be taken off the market.
What the president did not do was call the drug epidemic a national emergency, which would have allowed for additional funding. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says the president's statement falls short.
The president's statement are words without the money.
In West Virginia, the hope dealers aren't waiting for the government. In the state with the highest overdose rate, 4 women who have been touched by addiction are taking matters into their own hands, reaching out to addicts like Tiffany Arredondo, who lost everything to heroin.
The Sunday that I wanted to get help, January 7th, they actually chased me down the whole day. Went to my dealer's house, yeah.
The hope dealers helped get her clean, but many others are not so lucky. More than 170 Americans die each day from drug overdoses. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump's opioid commission had recommended the president declare a national emergency to free up money and resources.